And joining us with more as Campaign 2012 heads into those final 17 days is Frank Luntz, a CBS News political analyst and Republican strategist. Welcome. Great to have you here in studio with us.
Thank you. And it's hard to believe that it's all coming down to one final debate. And the problem that we have now is finding those undecided voters. In our polling, it's down to 3%. Wow. And even half of those actually have an inkling, have a leaning.
Peggy Noonan talked about how consequential these debates have become. With the undecideds, will they shape the outcome?
They have to, because nobody trusts these ads. They're expensive. They're on all the time. In Ohio, you can go through an entire 8-pod ad. So in the 4 minutes that you've got advertising, all 8 ads are political, and no one knows what to believe. So these debates are the only chance that you get unedited, unfiltered ideas and communication from these candidates.
Frank, this last debate is on foreign policy. A lot of will be centered around Libya, I think. How much of an impact do you think the issue of Libya is actually going to have, particularly with that 3% of undecided voters you're talking about?
Well, remember that if you're undecided now and the president and the governor do not agree on anything, so if you're undecided, it's about attributes and character traits, not about issues. And second, Obama's had an advantage on foreign policy because of the killing of Osama bin Laden. The Republicans traditionally have an advantage on national security, but it's hard for a governor to claim credit. So this is Mitt Romney's opportunity to prove that, in fact, he is presidential, and this is Obama's last chance to answer these questions that still remain about Libya.
When you look at the undecideds, a number of them are also the women voters. Both of these individuals have gone after the female vote in recent days. What case needs to be made in order to secure that vote? It's not a monolithic trading block, we should say, though.
Right, and if you're over age 50, there's virtually no gender gap. If you're under age 30, there's no single woman voting for Mitt Romney at this point. So the key is 30 to 49-year-olds, married, and they approve of Mitt Romney's economic policy, but they think that Barack Obama understands them more. That's the battle. Is it going to be who can solve your problems or who understands your problems? And both candidates have a weakness there.
So if you're those two candidates now, what do you do to try to get some of those voters?
I'm using the foreign policy debate to link economic issues. The most important economic security issue, or foreign policy security issue, is the debt. How can you have a strong foreign policy? How can you have national security when you have a $16 trillion debt? And so I would expect Mitt Romney to bring economic issues into the foreign policy debate.
This campaign right now is basically a dead heat, isn't it? I mean, you look at these polls, I mean, it's within the margin of error almost everywhere, it seems.
Mitt Romney has a slight advantage on the popular vote. Barack Obama still is leading in Ohio. Right. And I remind viewers that the fact is, you can win by 2% in the popular vote and still not become president. Right. The whole country is now focused on Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Columbus, and what happens there.
Both of these campaigns are going to be focused on the question of Benghazi. It's come up in the debates already. What might we hear that's new?
I don't know if you can hear what's new, but they're going to have to clarify. Mitt Romney had the right point and the wrong language, and this is why words matter. When he challenged Barack Obama, yes, the president had called it a terror, but he continued to make the claim for the next 10 days that it was based on a video. So when Romney said, "You never said it was a terrorist attack," Romney was wrong, and yet on the overall issue, Romney was correct that the administration got it wrong. So what the American people are deciding is, who is best able to handle a crisis? Who do you want at 3 a.m. to pick up that phone, as Hillary Clinton claimed in 2008? And right now, it is unclear. The single best line of the campaign so far, GM is alive, bin Laden is dead. Romney's going to have to challenge that line on Monday night.
Nice, and Biden said that one.
Yes.
Frank Luntz.
You got it.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Joe Biden actually said something intelligent for a change.
Thank you, Frank.
Not touching that one. Thanks, Frank.